So, speaking of irrational fears, do any of you have any?
Mine is, if we're getting real,
let's all be serious.
Let's all be serious
for a second.
If we're gonna be serious, my biggest fear is women.
And a hush falls over the crowd.
Expand.
Yeah.
Josh, you know me.
Mm-hmm. We've met.
We've met. Yeah. I don't know how to describe it, but I am not good with women. I'm not.
They're more afraid of you than you are of them, buddy.
They can't see you if you don't
dress
move.
like that.
I promise that is not the case. But that is my biggest fear in life over failure, over anything, is I do not know how to do something like that.
I always tell Landry when he meets the right woman, he's not going to be able to keep up with her.
It's bad.
I would buy that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like I am kosher with everybody, kosher with women. I can talk to you, I can make a conversation, but I don't know how to hit on you. As a woman, I'm like, hi.
Nice shoes, want to fuck?
No, it's never that.
Dude,
There's never any sexual connotation, and that's my problem.
Dude, I hear you.
So
I want to hear by the end of the night your pickup line for a woman, like as sexual as you think you can get.
Hi, I'm Landry.
Oh, man.
no one beats my pickup line.
What was yours again?
What's up, girl? Are you 3 minutes of cardio? Because you got me all sweaty and out of breath. There's no transition between this. I can't think of a segue that would go in. All right.
I mean, you just kind of segued right there.
So you're in your mom and dad's house.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is quiet. You walk downstairs and your dad is masturbating. What kind of porn is he watching?
I mean, I know Brian's is watching Pam Anderson.
Yeah. Pam fucking Anderson.
Because according to that family, it's the only porn that exists.
Well, I mean, you got to think his dad's older than him. So what was before that?
Marilyn Monroe.
Nothing. They hadn't made any yet.
That's true.
Yeah, I gotta say,
That's true.
That's true.
that's a quick conversation. It'd be early Playboys.
Let me see that magazine you got over there.
Yeah.
It's weird to think about how fucked up your dad is. Like
I've actually found
It's
my
weird.
dad's porn stash, and it was old Playboys.
Really?
Yeah, that's how it happens.
I don't know if
Some
my
of
dad is
the-
anything like his dad. Like Pop told us once that he only had sex twice, once to conceive my dad and once to conceive his brother. They slept in separate beds after Paul was born.
Like,
My
like
Uncle
I
Paul.
Love Lucy style?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they joked about that all the time. I don't know if it may be true.
When did you see your first Playboy? Like how did that situation
Oh, when I was like
come about?
8.
But I mean,
It was-
Yeah.
was it?
No, it was because down at the farm where I grew up was hunting, was what we called shooting houses everywhere, and they had everything. It was the nicest thing you could ever imagine.
Is it
They
a
had,
closet
like-
where you jack off and
No,
shooting house?
It was desk chairs, like slide up windows, propane
Like a
heaters,
deer
that was a
stand.
classic.
Yeah.
and a stack of Playboys, and you could sit in this shooting house and watch over there was one over the clover field, one over the blueberry
watch the deer
field.
and beat your meat because that definitely attracts the deer.
They couldn't hear.
Kevin, when did you see your first one, or how?
I want to say 10, and I was looking for, I want to say movies, because they used to hide like the R-rated movies upstairs, and I found the wrong box.
Yeah.
All right.
You found
Or
the right box.
The right box.
I found the box I was not looking
The box
for.
that would be revisited many times.
Indeed. Yes, it was.
Brian.
I think the first thing I saw was probably like 7, 8 years old, maybe, and going to one of my dad's friends is a mechanic, and in his garage he had all those old fucking calendars, broads with their tits hanging out and shit. And I would be like, "Fuck, I love coming to this garage. I
love cars.
This is the best.
Yeah.
There's something. There's
I don't
something
know.
over
I
this side
don't
of
know
the rim
shit about doing anything.
I
want to
be a mechanic when I grow up.
But I did know that if I was a mechanic, I would have nothing but fucking tits hanging out on calendars all over that motherfucker.
Josh,
Church camp.
church camp.
Ooh.
Like some bad kid brought it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Were you the bad kid?
No.
Probably.
No, I was at church camp. It was the same night. I crossed 3 things off my list in one night. The very first time I saw a porn magazine, the very first time I played Spin the Bottle, and the very first time I kissed a girl.
A man? Oh.
An adult man. The very
What
first
church
time-
were you at?
His name was Father.
That's a Catholic style there.
Very first time I kissed a girl during Spin the Bottle, obviously. It was actually kissed a counselor. So that was,
Damn.
that's going to get somebody in
Yeah.
trouble. Yeah. I mean, our counselors were like 14. I was probably 12 years old, and they had to have been in high school. So it was like a few years difference, you know.
Okay.
But still, we were playing Spin the Bottle. There was like 6 of us, and it was 2 counselors.
Oh, it was because of Spin the Bottle.
Yeah.
Well, that's slightly.
She didn't like hit on me or
It was
anything.
within the parameters of
And
the
we
They
didn't.
banged.
Yeah, we didn't make out. It was
That's
like,
that's different.
we were both underage. So when we were playing Spin the Bottle, and she she landed
Were
on
you
me.
living in Kentucky?
Yeah. She
Then
landed
fuck
on
it.
me and had to kiss me. And then the other, so it was 2 counselors. It was her and it was her boyfriend, who was also a counselor. And he was the one who brought the nudie magazine.
For me, it was my grandmother's house. So my grandfather died when I was young, but he was like a man's man, like a Frank Sinatra type of, cigars and poker and, just that kind of shit. Had like
Yeah.
fedoras and just a slick dude. And he had his basement remodeled to be a bar. So there's a bar in the, you've been there. It's
Mhm.
Bill's house. There's
Yeah.
a bar in the basement and pool table and all that stuff, right? Well, after he passed away, I guess all his stuff kind of just migrated its way down to the basement. Well, one day, the basement is also where the kids hung out when I, came onto the scene
Until this day.
until this day. And one day I was hooking up, that's also the TV set on the bar. And then I was going to hook up like my Nintendo or whatever. And there were cabinets underneath the bar, for your drinks or your cups or whatever. For whatever reason, I don't remember why I did, but I opened up one of those cabinets. And y'all, we are talking a treasure trove. Like stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks of like 60s and 50s Playboys.
Oh shit.
Like, 7 or 8 cabinets just full of these things.
Were they organized? Like, did they have
No, it was just piled up.
just piled in there?
Just piled in
Gotcha.
there. But I mean, it was hundreds of them.
Bushes.
Oh,
on deck.
yeah. But, that was like my first one. And I was just like,
Holy fuck.
looking at the stairs.
Did you take one?
Yeah.
I took the centerfolds constantly.
Nice.
Constantly.
Nice.
I'd pull them out and then I would stash them in my pillowcase
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
had traveled because
So it doesn't get folded, or so it doesn't get crinkled up.
so we didn't live there, and I stashed them in my pillowcase and would take them home 2, 3 at a time until it got to the point where, like, by the time I was in middle school, underneath my mattress, like if you lifted it up, it was just a spread of centerfolds pulled out of a Playboy.
you go to lay down, and it's just like that paper sound.
Yeah,
pretty much.
crinkling and shit.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Awesome.
Shit.
Basically, what my box spring, you remember how your old box springs on your mattress are? It's just a hollow piece with fabric wrapped around it. When I moved to my apartment and moved my bedroom suite out of my parents' house, I started, taking everything apart, got to my box spring, and realized that at some point in my childhood, I had cut a little slice in my box spring, and I found everything from Gatorade bongs to tin can pipes.
You just forgot about this.
Yeah, just things that I had done
So
throughout
you like
high
lift
school.
up your
fucking
mattress to
treasure
move
trove
it,
in
and
here.
it's just like
It
tuk, 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 tuk.
It was just
Nice.
like, it was just cans, just like crinkling to the bottom. I was like, huh.
No wonder you forgot about it. You were stoned the whole time.
I was like,
Have you ever been caught watching porn? when you shouldn't have.
Via internet
As opposed
history.
to being caught watching it when it was acceptable.
Yeah, I mean, you can.
Yeah.
Somebody can walk in and
Well,
be
yeah,
like,
but
"Oh, yeah,
then
what's
you're
up?"
not being caught.
Right.
Via internet history, yes.
I got nailed via search history once, and then my dad also eventually found all the centerfolds underneath my mattress.
I guess. Okay, so
It's
as,
only a matter of time.
The punishment was lenient, though. You know, it was.
you have to
Come on,
masturbate
man.
to all of these.
I've already done it thousands of times.
You must come once for every centerfold right now. Now, has anyone ever? Have you ever? When's the last time you were walked in on? Like during?
Never.
I never.
Never?
Yeah, never.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
You need to be more discreet with your porn watching.
No,
it
it's-
sounds like.
Dude, lock the
Quit
door.
masturbating everywhere. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
busy.
Lock the damn door, dude.
I forgot to lock the door once. I think my mom walked in on me. It was in high school. Yep.
Awesome.
Had that happen.
Yeah.
I think
I
that's
How was
can't.
that? Was
that's the
that
only
how
time.
how awkward was that fucking moment?
It was an awkward breakfast. That's
I
for
can't
sure.
even imagine.
Oh, good morning, you filthy heathen. Like I could just see it.
Sausage is ready.
This morning we're having sausage and sin.
You, me, and my Bible are gonna have a talk.
God damn.